Hello, people. Today is November 26th. It's Tuesday, and it just passed noon. And I'm going to have a cup of coffee. So I don't know. I know I want to talk to you people, but I don't know what about. Okay. What would be a good thing? Well, it's the holidays. It's Thanksgiving is coming up. And I can't believe how close Christmas is. Wow. Time just passes by so fast. So, I don't know if I left my speaker turned down, if that makes a difference, or if I just was too far away from the speaker or I wasn't speaking up, but I'm sorry that the sound was low. And that must have been because you wanted to hear the scriptures. So many people don't want to hear them. But you know what, people? It's pretty important what's in that Book of Mormon and the reason that it was saved for this day and time. There's a lot of reasons, but the most valiant spirit children of God was saved for this time, for this big old battle that's going on. And you guys, if you don't realize it, the big old battle is for your soul. It is not over there where everybody's getting killed and maimed, which is horrible. I wish we could just stop it. But as you do read through the Book of Mormon, it sure seems like there's a lot of battles going on. It just seems like that's all they can do is fight. And it's over greed. I want your property, so I'm going to come and take it. I don't like how you believe, so I'm going to wipe you off the face of the earth. I know, I'm sounding pretty belligerent. If that name fits, I'm not sure. But it's true. You know, lust, oh my. Lust is a big one of those temptation things. And yeah, I'm probably caught up in it right now. Lusting after someone that I shouldn't be. Especially since the whole world seems to be lusting after this guy. What a trip. I don't want that. I don't want to share my man with everybody, you know? Or maybe you don't, because this world is so far gone, they don't realize the importance of marriage, of family. They just see that temptation all over the place, and that's what leads them on. Come here, little boy. Come here, little girl. Let me show you what I can do. It's maddening. Yeah, that's the right word. It's maddening. Maddening? I wonder how you pronounce that. Let's look it up. Okay, stop it. I'll try to stop it. Making choices, those are not so easy to do. I should get my notebook and get my papers out and read them all again. I keep saying things that are in them. And it makes me think of them. But then I have I have about 20 different I don't know if you'd call them articles, but 20 different titles to things I had to say. That was when I was 27. I'm now 70. So that is what? If we round up to 30, you go to 70, that's 40 years. 40 years ago. Tripping, tripping, tripping. So anyway, I don't want to be doing that, chasing after something I desire, because I've done that so many times. And where did it get me? You know where it got me? A lot of wasted time. A lot of heartbreak. You know, some of you would say, oh, how can you be brokenhearted? It's easy. Get carried away. You know, I had a weird dream last night, and I don't really remember the dream except for that Leah Rose was in it. What a trip. Why would I dream about you, Leah? Leah is one of my cousins, okay? My Aunt Bonnie, my dad's sister, Bonnie. I think her name is Bonnie Louise. I'm not sure what Grandma Smith's name was. I know it was Etta. But anyway, it's really not important in this matter. I'm just sitting here in a cooled off kitchen. The minute I put on a sweater, I get hot. And then I'm pulling it off. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the next part of my life. And I'm just not sure. If I follow my heart, I might get in trouble. So maybe I should not do that. Should not ought to do that. My car is running great. And it already had a problem. It came when Philip brought it over here. It had a alternator problem. So he got on it, got it fixed. So glad he could do that. And then I went out driving it the other day, just a little bit. I went up to the library to make a photocopy of my new insurance so I could drive my car, and or legally. And then I went over to Safeway because they had a prescription waiting for me. So I didn't drive very far. And in the past, the car has made squealing noises. You know, when you have new brakes, it'll squeal. And maybe it'll squeal when you have bad brakes. I don't know. But all I know is in my past, I've had many different problems with vehicles. So I know a little bit about the problems that I've had. And so now, on this little drive that I took, I'm not sure if that's when I got gas, because I might have got gas then too. Excuse me. But I put on the brake, and the brakes work, but it grabbed, okay? It grabbed. So I'm sure that's into the rotor. I got to get out there and feel with my finger and stuff, but I was feeling good about traveling across the country in my little car, but I don't know. I got to get that problem fixed. And if things keep cropping up, which they do on a 200,000 mile engine, and not just engine, the car itself will start coming apart one way or another. So I love that little car, and I want to get in it and go afar. And I want to be safe doing it. I'm trying to get an old friend of mine to go with me, because I really, it's dangerous for me to be in a car by myself driving, because I can space out. I can be thinking about something. Next thing you know, I'm seeing the little movie about the things I'm thinking, and I'm not looking at the road. It happened to me when I first started driving. I was driving down the road with Mom. I didn't have a license yet, but I had my learner's permit, I'm sure. We'd be driving, and it's just on a 2-lane highway, okay? And this was in Utah. And she's over there. She's going, "What are you doing? Get back on the road." I was gone, man. So it's really not a safe thing to do. Oh, telling tales on me, you know, but I knew a I knew a person, I worked with her, young person, and I went to work and found out she had died. And what happened was she was driving and she had a seizure. I'm sure she crashed. I don't remember the rest of the story. I just know that she had a seizure and then she died. And she was driving. So that means the car got in an accident. So it's a little on the scary side, people. So what I got to do is get out there and learn how to use my car. Got to make sure my brakes are okay. Check out my rotors. That's the thing. Because I had that happen to me before, and it grabbed and then it destroyed the rotor. And the rotor had to be resurfaced or it had to be completely replaced. I don't know. And we do have an O'Reilly's here in town, and they're usually pretty good to help you figure things out. But time is of the essence. I need to figure out what I'm doing. The people in Downs don't wanna or will not, whether it's wanna or not, they will not turn my water on at my house unless I'm there. Or unless somebody's there. I'm not sure if I have to be the one. But that's 1,500 miles away. I mean, you know, let's just drive over there and check it out. So if I drive that far, God, I hope there's no problems. You know, I got that house when it had been empty 7 years. And it didn't have any problems with the pipes, okay? But they did, Downs, the city of Downs, they did go over for me and turn on the water. And what happened was the meter on their side said, error, error. So, no. I mean, they turned it off immediately, but nobody went, I told them how to get in there. But they won't do that. I just want to see if there's burst pipes, you know, without having to go there, because once I go there, I'm liable to stay. And if I stay, then I've got to have things working right away. I can't be paying for a hotel room, and I can't be worrying about the water. And the same thing if a person wanted to buy my house. But, you know, some people will buy your house as an investment. And they go in and they fix the things that's wrong. Especially when the price is so freaking low. I know, my house looks like a little dump. But I tell you what, it was a port in a storm. I should tell you all the things that happened to me in that town. I mean, I came into town married to a guy that had lived there and had a reputation. Plus, he's a little bit on the crazy side. And so, and here I am. My name is Mary Lou Perry. His ex-wife, his first wife who lived there in that town with him, Mary Lee Perry. So we were both Mary Else, okay? And I did not realize all that was going on around that town as far as what they had been through, what they had done. They'd been busted before, etc., even though it was falsehoods. And, you know, not always falsehoods, you know, because we all did things back when. I do not know what they did. I just know that I got to pay the price. I got to be the woman they thought was that first person. Not cool. Not cool at all. Town governments, especially in a little town, little dinky town, my suggestion would be that you get involved. That you get involved with these people and let them know who you are. I won't say much more about that. I might later. You know, if I had lots of bucks, I'd be better off to leave it alone, but they need to be taught a lesson. They do. Let's railroad everybody and get them out of town because we don't know who they are or what they're doing. I came into town. I'm already retired. Joe had his money and I had mine. It wasn't very much, but I had that house paid for. A beautiful big house that a few people in town wanted. But, and it wasn't beautiful like brand new type of stuff. It was old, but it was large. It was on the edge of town. I had a half acre of land, and right there, beside the road that went beside my house, was all those acres of greenery. Oh my, just beautiful. Lush green and rolling hills and trees. Big hunting, lots of hunting. And when I got that little dinky house that I have in that town, the people who used that house used it for hunting. They would come to town and hunt, and then they'd leave it shut up. Turn off the water, come back, turn on the water. They have their own little gadget, their own little tool. It's not little, it's long, real long, and it's got a thing like this on the end so they can put it and twist the valve. I need one of those. Then I could just go check it out myself without asking. But still, I have to be there. And it is kind of important. Now, there were a lot of things that were real important that I was trying to get squared away because of my situation, because of the fact that we all thought I was going to die. Like, quick. You don't have time to do this and that and the other thing. Just sign it over and all this stuff. And I'm going, no. Anyway. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure after my last visit with my doctor that I have a little more time, people. I'm not going to die right away. Wow. I'm happy about that. I think I'm happy about that. Anyway, the thing is, time. Time is of the essence. And here I sit. I'm not using my time wisely. You people, I hope you do. I know. A lot of us, we get up and we get ready and we rush out the door and we go to work and we might be late. Then we work all day, la, 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 and then we go home. We want to rest. But then, next thing you know, it's time for bed. And the whole thing starts all over again. Every day, every day, every day. So there's your good part of your week is gone. So the part that you do have, say 2 days, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to go out and party hardy and make yourself tired as you know what before you go back to work on Monday because you have worn yourself out over the weekend? Friday night, Saturday night, and rest on Sunday and go to work on Monday. Anyway, that is something we all need to look at. What is important in life? And what if all of a sudden you didn't have much time left? What would you do first? I do not know. I do know if I had my way, there are things I'd be doing. But I don't have my way. So, there you are. There you are. I've been away from my family for so long. I mean, I would come and visit, not always once a year, but I would try once a year. But it's difficult when you live out in the middle of the country and your family's on one coast or the other. My brother is down in Arizona, still a long ways away. I'm not sure how far it is from Downs, Kansas. But in order to have a really good place to live, I have to kick somebody out of my house. I don't want to do that. But I am tired of camping. I've been basically camping Not this last 2 years. It's not even been 2 years. Well, yes, it has. It's been 2 years since I left home. And you can call that camping too, because anywhere I've been, it's not been my home. It hasn't been bad. I mean, my home, where I was staying in Colorado, I wouldn't necessarily call that living in a house, okay? It's really, I've been camping. And that's not an easy way to live, for those of you who think it might be. It is not. Totally is not. And you need to be with the right person. And you need to have a lot of love and attention. And you need to be working together on what you're doing. Not fighting against each other. I mean, I would want things done. There weren't no way in you know what that it was going to get done. And I'm talking about me doing it with him, not just saying you go do it, but you can't. It's like I've told you before about the oxen and the cart. You got to have teamwork. You got two ox, and you got this thing that goes over their bodies, holds them all together. And if they're not going in the same direction, you're not getting anywhere. Evenly yoked is what they call that. A lot of people do not understand that, but I do. I really do. So, you need to have similar goals, unless you just want to live separate lives, and then if you do, why be together? Understand? Because that stops you from a lot of other things that you could be doing. Yeah, let's be attached to this guy, then you can't do nothing. You can't flirt, go out dancing. And if you're tied to this guy over here and you're not really happy, but other people don't know that, all they know is you're tied. You are off the market. You are not someone I can mess with. So nothing like putting yourself in a weird position. I know. See, I'm single. I lived alone a lot. I've been married 3 times. The last time was to Joe. This year would have been 18 years, I think. I'm going to lose track of time. We got married in 2006 in October, I believe October 7th. Because I married another man October 14th. I'm not sure. I get confused as to which is which. So I got married a week after I turned 17. And we were together total 6 years as far as marriage goes. I went out with him for 2 years before we got married, but you listen to the age. So I was 15 when I started seeing him, 17 when I married him, 22 when we had a daughter and got divorced. I found out less than 4 weeks before I had Jesse that I was getting a divorce. I knew something was not right. I knew. But I guess I lived in a fairy tale land where everything was supposed to be correct. Like your husband loves you, that you're fixing to have a baby, and all is right with the world. Well, it wasn't. Okay? I worked until I was 8 months pregnant. Had this big old belly, because I'm 8 months pregnant. And I'm sitting on a bar stool to do my job. So your legs kind of hang off. I mean, it cuts your circulation off to sit on a bar stool for that long. And then to top it off, you've got this big belly on the top pushing down on your legs. So the blood in your leg is pooling around and around. It's not going where it belongs. So I quit my job, passed up a promotion, a really nice promotion, okay? Because I was going to stay home and be a mama. That was my goal. Finally, after 6 years, of marriage, I'm going to go home and have a baby, and we're going to be a family. No. So I passed up my promotion. I went home to start my maternity leave. And actually, it wasn't maternity leave. I just quit. Okay, I quit my job because I was going to go home and be a mama. I found out a week later that my husband was going to divorce me. It was not a happy time. Not a happy time at all. Because I give my all. But if you don't have love, then you don't have anything. And in the meantime, I was working a lot, I guess. But I worked day shift. But in the meantime, he's hanging out with a woman that he worked with who had 2 children. And he left and went and was with her. So there's me and my baby. I'm 22 years old. What am I going to do now? I mean, I had skills. I can work, but I didn't want to work. I wanted to be with my baby. How rude. So I guess I should get off that subject, but that was the first marriage. And then I didn't go out and carouse or anything like that, but after a year of being alone, I was ready for the opposite sex. But then I got in trouble. Started going out a little bit. Just down the frickin' street, there was a bar. It had an excellent band. And there was a guy in there who turned my head. Talk about lust. And getting what you haven't been getting. We all keep making mistakes. I keep making mistakes. That was back then, okay? I'm going to try not to make any more mistakes, but sometimes you just do. Temptation arises. Oh. So that was my second husband. He liked to dance. He was really good at dancing, and I loved to dance. And, well, he had the beat in him, we'll put it that way. And then I found out later, that he played bass. Mama played tenor. That's singing. Okay. It's an old song. But anyway, so I've mentioned a few things about that marriage. Oh, my. I could have got him for bigamy. But a person gets all involved and their heart gets broken and they just let things go. Let idiots go do that to somebody else. Hopefully he got his up and comings. And sometimes our up and comings is just the natural consequences for our actions. Like my first husband, he really regretted everything. But once that happens, you just really can't go back. We tried to go back and it just didn't work. How can you trust someone who's done that to you? 6 years of marriage. 5 years, I guess, before you got pregnant. And I was pregnant when I was 19. I had a miscarriage. And there was a big old... We weren't doing good then, either. So it would have been best if I'd have just... Well, what would have been best is I wouldn't have known about the boy across the street. Or what would have been best is if I did know about the boy across the street. Anyway, all I can do is smack myself around. Sometimes we tell each other what to do, and we do it. My poor little Carly. I was taking care of Carly, my first grandbaby. And she stayed with me quite a bit. Because my daughter was only 18. She was still enjoying her life. So what was the point of that I've done for God? Oh, okay, I remember. It's a sad thing. I have this I have this habit, and it's not as bad as it used to be. But it came from my Papa Bear. I'm gonna smack you upside the head. I'm gonna smack you. Always coming out of the mouth. Not meaning it, but still it came out of the mouth. And here's my little granddaughter. I can see her right now. We're in the living room. She's in front of the TV. She's looking up at me, her little sweet self. She had curlies. She had red hair and curlies. So cute. I'm just saying she was so cute. But anyway, there was something, and I said, I'm going to smack you. Well, no sooner than I said it, she just picked up her hand and smacked herself. So you guys watch what you say. I didn't mean I'm going to smack you, but it came out of my mouth, and she just took her hand and just smacked herself. So, sharing a little lesson. Watch what you say to your little ones. And actually watch what you say to everyone. I remember my mother. I was grown up. I had a child, and I was living at Mom and Dad's. And I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. And I can understand her feelings and stuff, but she just made a statement. We were having an altercation of some kind, verbal, and she made the statement, I'm going to tear your head off. Just those little words. Just those little few words. I remember. It hurt. She painted a picture and it hurt. No matter if I deserved it or not, I'm just saying, we need to watch what we say. And luckily, my mother never did, well, I can't say never did, but when I was older, didn't smack me. She might not have smacked me when I was younger, but she definitely used a belt. And sometimes she shouldn't have done that. Especially, you get all upset and you get all mad. And what are you doing? You're terrorizing your little children. What did they do? Let me tell you what we did. Me and my brother. We were probably, I bet you, 2 and 3 years old. I don't know why we got that idea, but we got the idea. We got the hose and turned it on and squirted out the garage. I mean, squirted. We were cleaning the garage, man. No. I guess we were terrorizing that garage. Water was everywhere, and there was probably a big old mess, and my mother freaked out. Things that happened to her when she was young and got beat, they just continue on. But me and my little brother were stripped naked and put over the tub and beat with a belt. Now, do you think little toddlers deserve that? No, they fucking don't. Excuse my mouth, because I can remember. I remember things from when I was a year old. So don't you guys think that your little kids aren't going to remember, because they will. They might not remember everything, but they will remember some things. I'm telling you, those things that my mother did to us was done to her. Her father beat her. When her sister would go out and do something and get in trouble, my mother took the punishment. Not cool. So I'll get off of that. That's not a good subject. I love my mama. I've done a lot of things that I'm ashamed of, not happy about. You can't take it back. You can only be sorry. My intentions were to be married for time and all eternity, and to have my children, and to have my husband provide for us so I could be a good mama. But oh no, I got to be a single mom from the get-go, and I had to go out and find a job and let someone else take care of my child. You people, when you think it's just okay to get a divorce, you're wrong. I mean, I'm glad he did. I don't want to be married to him, but I didn't want the life that I had either. I mean, I had great intentions. So, life doesn't always go the way you want it to. And really, I had such a great opportunity for a good job. I knew that job. They wanted me to be the lead operator because I was already doing that job. I was always helping everybody else make sure they got their quotas and stuff, make sure everything worked out. And I passed it up. So then I was a cashier at a grocery store. I went back to the same place and worked some. I don't know what happened, but what happened was that idiot, my second husband. That's what happened. Boy, so many stories I could tell. Nevertheless, okay, we'll get over that. So long ago. I mean, gee whiz, I was 22 when we separated. I'm 70 now. There's been a whole lot of water go under that bridge. It's the first time I've used that expression. So anyway, you people, just make good choices. Don't get married just to get married. Don't get married because it's the thing to do. Make sure you're freaking in love and he's in love with you. That was our problem. We got caught. I snuck out and went across the street. Was with my boyfriend. And my sister was in the camper with me. So when I left, it woke her up. So she went into the house and told Mom and Dad that she was afraid. She was scared. She was alone. So I came home to the camper. And there's my dad sitting Indian style on the bed just waiting for me. Oh my. And he took me into the house to my mama. And they interrogated me all night. I mean, the rest of the night. Until I finally said, yes, we did, you know. But I should have just not. But they knew. They knew. So, what do young teenagers do? They get together in the middle of the night. They have sex. And once you've had it, you want it, okay? So it's a little difficult to say no. So I got sent away because I wouldn't leave the boy across the street alone. I got sent to New York. Went to New York, was there for 3 months, came back home at Christmas time, and by June 4th, we got married. But we were pushed into it because not just that, I begged. I begged for us to be able to get married. So I was going to be a senior. So I had just finished my junior year. Let's see. Yeah, when we got married, I was a junior. I had finished my junior year, got married in June, went back to school. Because that was the deal I made with my mom and dad, is that I would go and graduate. So I couldn't have any babies. Of course, I was baby hungry. I mean, I'd been trying for a while to get pregnant so we could get married. How stupid children are. So, that's enough of that. How did I get on that? Follow the pathway of Lou's brain. What does she think? Let her explain. that's on my card. It's true. There's so much in there. But the church itself is wonderful. Well, see, if I had stayed within the church and married somebody who had the same background as me, and married somebody who loved me and treated me with love, because I wasn't. No, I was not. So I spent all those years married to him without love, without respect. Wasted time. Wasted such precious time. So yeah, I am talking low now, so you might not hear me, but I have it turned up, so hopefully it'll be okay. It's already been 41 minutes. And I will just do it intermittently. I want to read that because I need it too. I don't know what it all says. I know the important events and what happened, but not all of them. I'm learning a lot by reading to you guys, so I hope that's all right. And I just say, you know what? If it's not all right, just stop and go on to the next. You never know what you'll find. I was 27 when I wrote that first paper. I don't think there were any other papers before that one. Turn on your light so you're not in the dark. So, when things are sad, when you're sad, find something to make you feel glad. I don't know what that would be. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you can write songs about what you've been through. Maybe I ought to do that. But I don't want to. I don't like crying in your beer drinking music, okay? I want happy stuff. I got that song playing in my head. Uptown Funk, I think. I'm not sure what it's called. Anyway, I love to dance, period. Always have. Even waltzes. I love to waltz. I don't know about a cha-cha-cha. I've done that, but I wouldn't call that something I love. I like the twirling. When you're dancing on the dance floor and you've got your legs kind of in between your partner and you're twirling together all around the floor. Oh, I love that. And then I like moving. Something that'll make me move. I love to dance. I was going to say something, but I better not. If you guys could just put this in context and not give me any grief, okay? Like everybody gets grief these days. Put it in your little head and you won't understand anyway. But I was born and raised until the 8th grade in North Carolina, okay? That was a long time ago. And that was back when there were, we're having racial problems now. But when we left there, the high schools were getting shut down because of riots. There was all kinds of bad things going on. And we worked in the tobacco fields. We were there. And we might have friends that were black, but I don't remember that. All I know is they got the music in them, okay? And I have it in me. And I was told that I got to have some black in me somewhere because I love to dance, okay? So I wasn't trying to be mean. That was a compliment. And it was a time frame. I don't even know how many years ago that would be, but just to be 20 is 50 years ago, right? So let's say 10 more years off of that, 60 years ago. Yeah, I was always dancing. I was in the 5th grade. My dad gave me, Mom and Dad, Santa Claus, gave me a radio and a bicycle. Nathan must have got a bicycle too, I'm sure. We were just young things, okay? But I'm going down, and I bet we had dirt road. I bet our road that went around the church was dirt. Anyway, I'd be out riding my bike, listening to my radio, and dancing while I'm at it. And I'm pretty sure that I was dancing when I could only pull myself up on the side of the crib. I know my daughter was. I'm driving down the road one day. You know, back then they didn't have the laws going on about car seats and stuff. And we had one of these ones that just clamp over the seat. And it's just a seat that sits there next to you, the driver, and it's clamped over the back seat. And it's going to be the same thing. You guys just have to take this with a grain of salt. Because they do got music in them, okay? So we're driving down the road, and here's my daughter. She weren't very old. I don't even think she was a year old. But she's sitting in this car seat next to me. And it's a plain little dinky thing. And Old Black Betty comes on the radio. Old Black Betty, yeah. Anyway, she was just a dancing to beat the band to that song. She about came out of her car seat. So I'm just saying. It's in me and my daughter. But I don't think there's any black in us. I just think everybody always thought that the blacks had a corner on the market of being a good dancer, I guess. No, I'm a good dancer. Or I was. I don't know how much juice I have in my legs anymore. You know, stamina. That's one of the reasons I'm trying to walk and trying to Zumba. I'm going to have to get back out there and walk, but it's been cold and wet, and I don't want to. So, Zumba is not cold and wet, but then it hurts, and I don't want to. You do it very much, and your legs start hurting, or your butt starts hurting. So I sit down. But I do know if I continue, I'll get stronger. I was a lot stronger until I had that last surgery. Because I had had 2 surgeries in Colorado before I came over here. And before I had that last surgery, I was walking 3 miles a day. And one day I was mad, I guess, because I saw that I walked 5 miles. I'm going, oh my God. It usually takes motivation for me to walk that far. And I'd be talking to you guys, so I'm not sure which video it is, but I'd be talking to you guys and walking and not realizing how fast I'm going and 5 miles, wow. So I need to do that again. I need to find my strength. I found my happiness, but every once in a while it's not so happy. Every once in a while I wonder if I'm doing the right thing, etc., etc. So even at age 70, you gotta make decisions. Stay in love. Find your love and stay in love. Treat each other right. And realize, you know, you young people, when you get married, you think, oh, you can still go out partying with your friends. Are you crazy? Don't get married if you feel like you still need to go party with your friends. I mean, you can have your friends come over and you and your friends and your wife, or maybe couples or whatever. But if you feel like you still got to go out and hunt and do whatever you damn well please, then don't get married. Don't do it. Save her or save him. The important thing in life, the most important thing in life is your mate, your family. Because in the end, that's what everybody's looking for. all these people out at the bar and all dressed up and trying to look all hot and find somebody. Well, a lot of them are just wanting somebody for the night. They're not wanting a family. They got things all screwed up in the head. But the other ones, I mean, besides the ones that just want it for the night, there are those truly looking. But what are they going to find? And when you do find true love, real love, you better make it a priority. Because that's what everybody else wants. It's what you wanted. But you're going to lose it if you don't place it where it belongs, on a pedestal. I don't know if you guys can even understand. I mean, those of you who know will understand, but you young bucks and you young girls, save yourself a lot of trouble. Go down a different path. Don't let Satan ruin your life, because he will. He will take great pride in promising you all kinds of things that are not going to pan out. I know, you guys don't believe. A lot of people believe in Satan, but I don't think they believe there's a God. And you can't have one without the other. I mean, why would you believe in Satan? You can believe in what he'll do to you. And he'll promise you the moon and then kick your ass right down into that bottomless pit. And then he'll probably laugh. Or maybe he won't even give you that much time a day to laugh. But that's his job. That's what he wants. He wants all of us to stumble, to fall, to go right down into that little pit. And it's not a little pit, it's a huge pit. You know what I've been reading to you guys about? Sorry, my nose is running. The Tree of Life. The Tree of Life. That big spacious building over there is full of people that are lost. They act like they're happy, but they're not happy. And they're making fun of you if you're one that's down on the straight and narrow path, holding on to the iron rod. They're up there making fun of you. Well, why do you think they're doing that? Because you got something they want. Or maybe they just don't realize that you've got something they want. Pay attention. I mean, I hope there's some people out there listening to me when I'm reading the Book of Mormon. You know, not everything's going to be exciting and all that stuff, but I would think if you open your mind and you understand what I'm reading, it's very important. Very important. And you guys have been very important to me. I'm appreciating being able to talk. It's an outlet for me. And hopefully I'm sharing some good stuff with you guys. Something that might help you out. And in this forgiveness thing, oh my, it's not easy to forgive. But then if you stop and you realize what they went through, the life they went through, and how they believe, and how easy it is to be tempted. And you can start to see, well, I can see why you would do that. I can see. I worked way too much. I should have never worked. He didn't want me to work. I'm talking about my first husband. He did not want me to go to work. But yet he had the gall to come home and have a fit because I didn't dust. You know, he wasn't worried about my well-being at all. I was bored stiff in that house, and I had no money. I didn't feel like I could use the money, even though it was mine too. But I wasn't making the money, so I didn't feel like I could use the money. My job was to just take care of him and take care of the house and fix the food and da-da-da-da. What a crock, you people. Don't feel like that's your calling in life. Your calling in life, take care of your man. You need to take care of each other. You need to build each other up and respect each other and love each other. And not feel like you can go out to a bar and flirt with women, and that's okay. I'm talking about the man, of course, because I'm the woman, but that happened to me, and I know it happens to a lot of them. And then, so my husband's going out with his friends, and so I got perfect right to go out with mine. Not that I would even choose to do that, but I did, because he was. Stupidity. I didn't do anything wrong. But the point is, you shouldn't have to make those choices. The choice should be, what are we going to eat tonight, honey? Would you like a hot bath? Come, let's go to the bedroom. All those things you idiots are out at the bar looking for, you have it right at home. And if you want that marriage to last, and if you want that marriage to be sweet, you have to take care of it. Take care of your woman and take care of your man. But it needs to be when words fail me, my hands work. Anyway, so many years later, let's see. My first marriage was 6 years. My second marriage was 2 years. But it wasn't 2 years together, because he immediately was out doing stuff. He married me, and then he married someone else while he was married to me, and he lived with both of us. 6 weeks with me, 6 weeks with her. But I didn't find it out for 2 years. He just played games with my head. Made it out like I don't even remember now, but I would think made it out like I did something wrong or something weird was, I don't feel like that for you, or whatever reason. And then he would go and live with her, and he'd call me and talk on the phone. Or he would call me and make a date. We would go on dates when he was not living with me. But I didn't know where he was living. He was living with a woman. She was cute. See, I met her 2 years later, and she had all these kids. That gave him a great IRS deal. Exemptions, money. Plus, she was probably taking care of him just like I have done. The man is supposed to be the provider. That's in a society where that works, because nowadays it takes both of you and working 2 jobs to make it. So when do you ever see each other? So that's another reason never to get married. I don't know. Talking my head off about stupid stuff. I just know I got some decisions to make. And I got to do them pretty quick. And going across the country in the middle of the winter is not the right time to do that. I mean, on an airplane, but even on an airplane, you're up there in that weather. Anything can happen. So let's see. I went through my first 2 husbands, and then I was alone for 20 years. I didn't get married during the time Jesse was... Well, I did. I got married to John when she was a little over 1 year old. But that 2 years was on and off. And then I was single, I think. I might have had a boyfriend here and there. In fact, I had one that lived with me for 3 years. But it's still the same old scenario. The boy or the man thinks that he pays for the partying, and the woman pays for the bills. That's what happened with me. I guess it's because we let it happen, right? We have to do better. Better, better, better. Anyway, I need to go do some Zumba. And I need to eat some food. And make decisions. And sometimes you need to make the decisions without out influence, without the outer. In other words, there's things that affect my thinking patterns, and sometimes they must not be right because they give me a lot of stress. They give me headaches. I get headaches. And in the past, when I was with my first husband, whenever I was totally upset, I couldn't eat. I could not eat. It affected my thought processes, affected the rest of me. I could not eat. And I know I went back to work after I had Jessica because I can remember my body going through changes there. Big changes. In other words, I couldn't eat. And I found myself every day, sometime during the day, in the afternoon probably, I would double over in pain, my tummy. Before all that happened, I had to eat about every 2 hours or I'd get sick. And that means nausea and headaches and blah, blah stuff, which caused me a lot of grief. But then, after the divorce, I couldn't eat. So, my body went through a change, is what I started to say. Without having to eat every 2 hours and getting sick, I could go 3 days without eating and not feel hungry. And after the doubling over of my stomach quit, then I was happy with that. I was happy with not having to eat every 2 hours. But the problem is then you're not eating and taking care of yourself. And I would eat boiled eggs, or I would eat the middle of the sandwich but without the bread. That's what I'm kind of at now. I don't eat like I'm supposed to, and cancer does do things like that, but I have done good. I've gained 5 pounds. I haven't lost. And we'll just see what the future brings. Right now I need to eat before I get sick. So that's a good sign. It's a good sign, even though I don't like it. You know, I can remember my dad saying, boy, if there wasn't food in heaven. I mean, I can't remember what he said, but in heaven, surely you can eat and be able to enjoy it, because that was what he enjoyed most in life, was eating. I mean, you know, one of the main things. Besides his wife and his family and the church and la. The church was always there. And I was rude one time. I was bad. Not just one time. I've been bad. But I was upset. And I told him, I said, you know what? The church is your family. The church will always take care of you. I didn't say it probably so nice, but I was talking to both my mother and father, not just my dad. I resented the church because they were all about the church. And so that affected anything and everything that I did. I don't know if you can understand that. I'm a strange bird, and I'm out there doing things that are against the word of wisdom, and doing things that are against the church, meaning going out and having sex without being married, doing drugs. I did my share of drugs, not like a lot of people, but I did partake. But anyway, I'm just saying, this little girl's not perfect. And I'm not a little girl. However, I do call people my age little girls and little boys. Okay? Because we all are inside. We are that person we started with. We have just been added upon over and over and over again. And I'm ready for some good stuff. I'm ready for my eternal companion. That's what I want. And I want to be deliriously in love with that person and be loved in the same manner. No, that's not an easy thing to find. And when you do find it, you better grab onto it and figure out how to keep it. And it's with love, people. Love and respect. So I think that's enough. And what am I at? I'm at an hour and 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So it's time to get off of this and eat some food before I really get sick. So take care, y'all. I've done and shared a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have shared, probably, but you know, I bet we all have some things that we could share, but we don't dare. It rhymed, you know, it rhymed. I had to use it. Okay, so I don't know that woman's name, Natasha, or something like that, but those of you who need to exercise, who used to walk with me and stuff like that, you know, put her on, she's on YouTube. She's got over 1 million views, at least. I don't know. All I know is it'll help. No, you need an instructor, someone to do it with. She's got weird music, but it works. You just walk to it. You walk to it, and then next thing you know, you move side to side to it, and then you do this and that and the other thing to it. And she does her, I think the very first thing I saw that she did was laying on the bed. She did some exercises while laying on the bed. But then she's got walks. She's got a 10-minute walk, a 20-minute walk, and more. And I just need to walk, and walk with vim and vigor. Okay? So, I am done for today, maybe. I do want to read that next chapter. I think the next chapter is 14 of First Nephi. And I've told you people already how to get that. You know, you can get the app on your phone for free. On your phone or on your iPad or whatever. Something bugging me here. I have to get off of there. Well, I had a thought pattern, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, excuse me. In making decisions, I'm talking to myself too, we need to worry about us. We need to figure it out. Yes, when you have children and a husband or this or that, you need to include them in your thoughts. How will this affect your children? You need to have family home evening, something the church does. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I don't know what they're doing these days, but in the old days we had family home evening. One night a week you designate for family, because family gets so busy. So they would usually do Monday nights. But if you couldn't do Monday nights, you just need to pick a night. And then you have date night. So you have a date with your mate. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but you go and spend time together. Whether it be a walk, you know, spend an evening together. Go get dessert. You don't have to go out for a big expensive meal. But you should do both those things if you've got little children at home. Or not even little children, teenagers too. Demand family time. And if at all possible, you have dinner together. It's not really possible a lot because there's so many things going on in the school system. Ball games and this and that and the other thing. But if you want to keep your family intact, you need to put forth the effort. And don't let temptation get in your way. And just because these other guys seem to be having fun all the time, well, guess what? They're looking for what you have. You understand? Everybody out there at the bar is looking for the opposite sex. And it's a sad situation because you end up ruining your family at home. And then next thing you know, you're crying the blues, man, because you're all alone. I wonder why. I'm giving you guys some ideas, okay? Get it straight. If you want to be married, if you want the love of your woman or your man, you better do something about it. Show your companion that you love them. And nobody stands above them. You understand? Please. If everybody would take care of their own, we could have a happy world. Of course, then we've got to worry about the greed of others trying to take your property. And I don't know what those games are because I didn't play them, but the one where you're trying to take over these different worlds, these different kingdoms or whatever, you probably don't do it very nice either. I don't know what it's called. The Game of Life, I think that's one of them, but that's not the one I was talking about. And there's Battleship. Maybe that has to do with the wars and stuff. Anyway, people, I'm sorry I'm talking so low. I don't mean to be. And I'm kind of right in the screen here, so maybe it's working out okay. And 33 is going to come up, so I'm going to work on that, okay? I love you, people. I hope you'll do good. I hope you'll be happy. And I hope you'll make your children happy. And not by giving them everything they want, okay? Bye.